The players, the personalities who come from around the world to play professional soccer in the United States.
Go, go, USA! Oh, it's incredible!
In a world where some call it football, football, or soccer, they dare to call it foosball. One thinks New York is blue. The other thinks New York is red. Soccer in America from a German perspective. Let them put some sauerkraut on your hot dog and join them for the Schnitzel Boys USA Hour.
Yeah, that's right. You're in the right place. It's the Schnitzel Boys on Monday night, the USA Hour, week 3 of Stefan's endless Germany vacation. He is still out of town, but no worries. You'll see him soon. We'll catch up with him. Sebas S. Yep. Launching right into it. The Red Bulls made the playoffs. Yep, I am aware. For me, it's over. I'm wearing my ski t-shirt. Ski season's about to start. That's what I'm focused on. Anyway, nope. Congratulations to the Red Bulls. We're gonna talk about that ad nauseum in a little while. But yeah, regular season MLS is over, and the newly revamped playoffs are beginning on Wednesday. Red Bulls are playing against Charlotte and who's the other two? It's Sporting Kansas City against Dallas, maybe? Or San Jose. SKC against San Jose. Yeah. That's what it is. I will, anyway, I'll give you my 2 cents later. Let's just go straight to catching up with our intrepid traveler of the Germany. Hold on. Here it is. Here he comes. There he is. We found him.
You found me. You found me in Friesland.
Friesland, the north.
I mean,
people make jokes about those. People make jokes about those people. Are you aware?
Oh, I know. Ostfriesland. What's the joke? Around here? No one finds Friesland funny. What's the joke?
Well, it was just, it's like any, there's always, historically, we go through phases where one particular, whatever it is, nationality, or, it was like, it's Poles, right? It used to be Polish people in
sure.
In the U.S.
38%.
In the U.S., they were blondes for a while. For a while, people picked on blondes, or in Helmut Kohl jokes we had, because he was supposed to be a little dense at the time. So there was a lot of. So we go. No, but I'm just saying there's. But when I was a child, the people in Germany were the Ostfriesen. The Ostfriesen were the ones that were supposed to be a little bit slow and a little bit. I don't have any personal experience in Ostfriesland. I can't confirm or deny, but that was just. I think Otto Walkes is responsible for this, perhaps. German comedian Otto Walkes. He was a big deal. No, he was a pretty funny guy, in my opinion. He was a big deal in the 80s and 90s. I guess he's still around. And he, I think, made fun of the Ostfriesen a lot. So anyway,
I just
give us a live update.
I just found a German comedian on TV because my sister's here with me in North Germany, and we were very curious about Friesische Deutsch, or Friese dialect, the Friesen dialect of German. Because here in all the houses, it's written, everything's Hus, H-U-S, right? Alte Hus, and so
right.
So we went online and we found all this great. It's like almost a totally different language. It's like countries with borders. The borders have half languages back and forth, and Friesen Deutsch is like if Dutch and German were split right down the middle, and that's like Friesische Deutsch kind of. You can it's like Danish inspired, Dutch inspired, German inspired, old school language. But we found this comedian named, what was his name? I remember his name. Frank Velden Fleeter or something like that. He did this. He was apparently my mom's like, oh yeah, that guy. He was like a TV show host for a long time, but he also was a comedian, I guess, at sketches. And he did the sketch where he was a weather report guy. He went all over Germany doing everyone's different accents in their cities. And it was very, very funny. He's like, hier in Frankfurt in die Kaiserstadt ist das so, aber nicht hier in die Leipzig, with his Sächsisch accent, and then in Berlin. And then he even did Breslau Deutsch and Danzig Deutsch, where my grandparents are from, which is no longer part of German. It's all Poland now. Right. But he spoke Breslau German, which my grandfather spoke, which is a dead type of German accent. But anyway, it was a great comedian. I wish I could remember his name. I'm going to look up his name actually right now.
The music, the musical interlude, Sport und Musik with Stefan Schütte.
Peter Frankenfeld.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Does that ring a bell to you at all?
Yeah, he was like a variety show host in the olden days.
If you want to have a good time, look up Peter Frankenfeld in English. Wetterkarte Deutscher Dialekt. And it's him doing the weather report and all the acts. It's a fun little video. We had a good time. If you want fun with German accents, he has other sketches where he also has fun with German accents. He does a sketch where he has to not pay for his meal in every German dialect. He just keeps doing it over and over.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. There's some funny Germans.
Well, he's one of them, right? Peter Frankenfeld.
Peter Frankenfeld, yeah.
Frankenstein. Peter Frankenfeld.
He was a big deal. I don't know how long he was, but he was a big deal when I was a youth, when I was a child. So he must be, that was a long time ago.
This sketch is from 1972, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you have it.
Also up here, we survived the storm of the century. I'm up here in the Baltic Sea, Friesland up north, where the islands are. And we had a terrible, terrible hurricane storm come through. I don't think it was an actual hurricane, but it was like high wind, high rain. But me and my family, we put our coats on.
You hunkered down? You went out. You went out for a walk, like like the stoic Germans that you are.
No matter what has been happening here, the streets are full of people walking. That's just a fact. Just everyone's in their coats and they're walking. They give two craps about the rainstorm. But it really wrecked all the Strand bars, all the beach bars and everything. And everything was flooded, really flooded. So much of the streets were flooded. We couldn't walk through the Innenstadt because the Innenstadt was flooded. But we braved the storm to eat at a hipster burger restaurant. And we had my whole family, including my elder generation, we all got together at hamburgers.
Burgers are in now.
It was my great uncle's first ever hamburger, he said. He didn't know what it was. So
it's like a frikadelle mit Brötchen.
Frikadelle mit Brötchen, like a good German. He ate the whole thing with a fork and knife.
Nice.
So that's what's going on in my neck of the
woods. There's no bad weather. There's only inappropriate clothing. That's what my grandmother used to say.
I love that. I say it in German for me. Come on, we're in German.
Es gibt kein schlechtes Wetter. Es gibt nur die falschen Anziehsachen.
I like it. I bought a sweet new ass raincoat while I was here.
Yellow, of course.
No, well, I wish. A Paddington Bear special. No, it was bright blue. It's bright blue.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited about my new coat. But anyway, tell me, Bjorn, what's going on in your world? I had to wait till midnight last night to watch Decision Day, to watch my New York Red Bulls play.
Now, I have in the past shown some magnanimity, whatever the word is, towards the Red Bulls. I have publicly expressed that I'm happy for you, that your team is doing well. So but if I said that I wasn't, but after I already knew that NYCFC was not going to make it, if I were to say that it did not irk me that the Red Bulls snuck into the playoffs in the last second on a penalty kick, if I said that I was happy for you at that moment, if I said that I was not bothered by this, that would be a lie. That would be not true if I said that. because that did bug me.
So I'm gonna have to make an admission here, Bjorn. I did watch I watched the first half of the game, first 2/3 of the game.
Oh, and then you passed out.
And I passed. I was so I'm walking all day here.
What a way to wake up, though. What a way to start the next day.
I woke up. I watched because I have. You know what's so funny? So it's like a dream, Bjorn. In my mind, I'm like, I have a memory of John Tolkien scoring right at the death. Because it's like maybe the game was on while I was sleeping. So
so you were in and out. Right. It seeped into your unconscious.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, we won last night. But I'm not 100% certain because I was like half asleep. I was like in a daze. It was like a dream. And then I played the highlights, the second half highlights. Because like I said, I didn't really watch the full second half. And yeah, I saw it happen. John Tolkien did get the winner at the death. He's the one who nailed the penalty, I believe, right? And it was right at the death and the stoppage time. But the reason I bring that up is because I didn't get a chance to the full decision day experience. I saw the first half, and there wasn't much.
Well, I did. I had the full decision day experience.
Was New York ever in a playoff spot? Were they above us for a few minutes?
And we were NYCFC. No, we were never in a playoff spot because from our perspective, we just barely survived Wednesday night because Charlotte had a lead for a lot of their game against Miami, but then the late equalizer was what we needed to just even be alive going in. And it was clear, we needed a lot of help. We needed Charlotte to not win, and we needed the Red Bulls to lose, and we needed to win. So that's a lot of, that was a lot of contingencies.
Hope.
And so
a lot of optimism.
A lot of hope. Yeah. A bit of a long shot. And so we were never in. We were as close, we were as close as, Charlotte had an early lead against Miami. So from our perspective, but all we needed, for most of the NYCFC game, we only scored quite late ourselves. So my son was watching decision day on his phone. I was like, until we score, none of this matters. Like until we score a goal, we don't even have to look because
right.
And Chicago came out like they wanted it, because for them too, if they had won, they would have possibly been in. I'm not sure what the tiebreakers were, but anyway, so everybody was in it. Chicago kind of came out with more urgency, aggressively, and we were sort of struggling a little bit to get control over the game, but also had some good chances, but it took us a while. We missed some pretty good looks, and then Matty Freese had to make a couple saves, so it was pretty up and down. And so I wasn't sure we were even going to win this thing, and it wasn't until late where Julian Fernandez, who had up to that point had looked like he wasn't even sure what day it was exactly, like had been completely lost. We had 3 different players dribble out of bounds at some point or other during the game. So it was it's not a super convincing performance, but Fernandez eventually pulled out one a pretty nice shot. And so then we were up. So then at that point, for most of the Charlotte game, Charlotte was up, and for most of the Red Bull game, it was scoreless. So we were 2 goals away. We needed Miami to tie, and Miami came close. The goalie made a couple of pretty sick saves. Messi had a free kick that the goalie, there were a couple of moments, it looked like Miami could do it. And then, although the Nashville Red Bulls game, from what I kind of saw of it, that looked like a pretty unurgent affair in terms of score. Like, it didn't seem like there were a lot of chances on either end necessarily.
Not that I remember. I think in the first half were some pretty big opportunities we missed. But
I just saw sometime in the second half, I saw an XG value that was like 0.4 to 0.3 or something. So not exactly a lot of but yeah, I don't know. At that point, it looked like Miami could do it, and then I was like, okay, if that happens, then all we need is a Nashville goal. But then we were already I guess for us, but none of these things ever happened. And the Charlotte game also ended kind of early, I think. Like they didn't have a lot of stoppage time. So it was pretty clear that we weren't going to make it. And then our game was over. And that's when it was like, oh, the Red Bulls have a penalty. And so at that point, we were already out.
And then it was time for the New York Red Bulls to claim the rightful spot.
The only time you were in this playoff spot for like 45 seconds of the entire year.
Yeah, and get this, Bjorn, it's 8th place, not 9th place. We host the play-in.
Yeah, you get a home game.
Host.
Oh,
so the entire season
you have the tiebreaker.
So, there's a phrase called "That's So Metro," right? And "That's So Metro" means that Sean Davis and Dax McCarty and Alex Mule get together and score the greatest goal of all time and just sink our season and just wish us goodbye. Dax McCarty was not available. It was Sean Davis and Alex Mule. Sean Davis out there, former Red Bulls boys. But no, for whatever reason, the light shined on us today, Bjorn, and there was no "That's So Metro." It was scoreless, miss, this, that. It was like, come on. And then 2 minutes into stoppage time, someone got taken down in the box. It was a penalty, and John Tolkien stepped up. Jeremiah, as the man, full-grown leprechaun man, he's
a likable guy. He said, I saw a clip in the post game where it was like he was worried about his mom because she was going to be so nervous at home. So yeah, I mean,
it was a big moment. I mean, the whole season, right?
Sure, yeah.
And he freaking nailed it great. He faked the keeper went the other way. Just nailed it right in the corner. Boom, 1-0. Red Bulls win in the playoffs. They did
home game so against Charlotte. Anybody's, against Cincinnati, obviously the overwhelming favorite over whoever emerges from that game. But
we're hosting Charlotte. All we need to worry about is Charlotte on Thursday. That's all we got. Playoffs,
okay.
Home game, one and done with Charlotte. Boom, Thursday.
When is that? Oh, it's Thursday. We know that. I
believe, right? Or did I miss?
They were sort of slow to announce the schedule. I haven't checked in the last couple hours to see.
Well, it's got to be.
Okay. I guess we have. We now. Do we know? Yes, we know. Wednesday at 7:30.
I think from
Wednesday 7:30, 9:30 are the play-ins.
Or 3 a.m. here, whatever time it's.
Okay, yeah, 7:30 for you. That's 1:30 a.m. right in the Germany. Yeah, that's Red Bulls against Charlotte, and we have Sporting Kansas City against San Jose after Portland bottled it pretty horribly in the West. But anyway, so that's on Wednesday, and I guess we don't have any schedules beyond that for any of the other series. I guess we'll find that out once these wild cards are over. So that's on Wednesday. Yeah. Well, best of luck, I guess.
We did it. Well, all I know is that
you have that streak going, so it's the longest in active pro sports, 14 years of playoffs consecutively. Nobody else can match that in the major US in major U.S. sports.
Yeah, they had to dig that one out somewhere. You have to do some hard Googling.
The Twitter has this available. I mean, don't you gotta take your trophies where you find them, man. Don't downplay it. This is a big deal.
I know, but so I read Seba S.
You were saying how you get in, but then that's it. Yeah.
I'm all about it. I think it's great. However, they better not they need to invest more in this team. We can't just because the last 2 years we've limped into the playoffs, and this is limp with a capital L, by the way.
None of these teams really deserve it. You're in because you won the last 3.
However, what I will say is, despite them making it 9 teams, it used to just be 8. We got 8th. So if it was still 8 this year, we still would have gotten it. So I do want to
No, it's true, but all of these, like, there was so. I mean, it's also every year is a little different. This year,
Right.
there were a lot of. I mean, I can. The only thing I can take credit for is that, like, that I think a while ago I said that you would need 43 to get in,
and that's exactly what we got.
And
right?
that's exactly what 8 and 9, what 8 and 9 both got. So, so I guess maybe my teams are getting worse. My predictions are getting better. I don't know. I'll yeah. I guess I'll take the victories. No, what are you going to say?
Take your victories. Big story. Troy Lesesne took the poorest team in the league with a terrible locker room, and the what's his face sent to Belgium for suspension. And Troy Lesesne came in there with no top division coaching experience and organized these guys, gave them real belief, put them together, and this team ended the season strong, all because of Troy Lesesne. So give it up for Troy. He definitely gets plaudits in my book.
But again, is this just, like Zebas S was sort of saying this last week? Is this just going to be an excuse for more of the same?
Let's hope not. And no, like fans have had enough. So like, we're not, if you say like another great season, we'll do it again next year. No, that's not going to work. Their stadium's going to stay, in order for them to reinvigorate their franchise and get people coming to the stadium again, they need to invest heavily more in the roster. This doesn't change anything. I'm all about it. I want these boys to go. I want them to have a good run. But you and I both know that this team doesn't have the depth to make it all the way. I mean, they're just not. I mean, if they do, it'll be lovely, but it'll be kind of a fluke, There are teams with real depth pieces, and the New York Red Bulls, time and time again, do not invest in senior players. It's a lot of kids, a lot of youth players, a lot of development players, which is fine. But again, this team needs that mix. You get development players, you mix them in with good senior players that you find. And I'm hoping no matter what happens in this postseason, then the offseason, the New York Red Bulls follows through with their promise and they invest in the team. That there's no two ways around it, because they need to fill that stadium. They need to have excitement around the club, and short of winning MLS Cup this year, their offseason still needs to be busy. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I don't want to talk about that right now. Right now, I want to enjoy our win.
You're still in it, yeah.
Today. We got a big game on Wednesday. We got freaking Charlotte at home. We can handle that. We can do that. We can do Charlotte at home. We can do that.
We can do Charlotte at home. Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web shall not ensnare you.
What's the name of that? Wilbur, right? What's the name of the pig? Wilbur. Right? Isn't that the lead of the thing?
I don't know.
We're Wilbur, they're Charlotte. They're going to die before the end of the story. Right?
Oh, boy. Okay.
They're not going to have a bunch of babies coming out this time around. In this Charlotte's Web, the spider dies and there's no kids. Only Wilbur wins.
All right. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I guess our season is over. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Nick Cushing did not sound like a guy who expects to be fired, but
what did he say
in the press conference after?
He's like, I can't wait to start my new.
We have to
coach the games next year. He said that.
I mean, pretty much. He was like, "Well, now we're going to keep on working. There's going to be some changes, and it's too early to say what." Like, yeah, he did not. I mean, what is he going to say? Like, I'm probably going to get cancer. Who cares? No, I mean, but it's unclear. Yeah, I guess it's unclear. We did.
You know what head coach is looking for a job right now and applied for the head coaching position at DC United, but it's from New York City originally. He's an old school New Yorker. Bruce Arena. Well, but he has to go to the principal's office, right? Before he can get it. Well, he applied. He's the front runner for the open DC United job. So that means he's got to go to the principal's office for that too, right? So he's going to the principal's office. I don't
think Bruce Arena is a CFG type dude. I don't expect him to be our new coach.
I'd still give him money.
I was ready to have Kai Kamara. Kai Kamara, after the Chicago game, said that he's got another year in him. It's not going to be in Chicago. So I was like, well, just stay right here. We'll take Kai Kamara off the bench for a year. I don't know. We didn't really have
I'll take Kai Kamara.
Have any backups? Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. Those are there's some questions. I mean, we have a young team. It's all, we have to put it in perspective. I said it a little bit last week. The big thing was that we didn't have a number 9. Since in the last 10 games, after we got our reinforcements and Munsif Bakra arrived, who by all appearances is a completely average MLS striker. He does not seem special in any way. So I think we probably need somebody else at that position to offer a little bit of competition. But anyway, since he arrived in the last 10 games, we averaged 1.5 points, which is plenty to make the playoffs. So if we have somebody like him the whole year, we're probably comfortably a playoff team. So it's not like we need to, and that's then the question about how much responsibility will you heap on Nick Cushing's shoulders. There is like just some, like just looking at this game on Saturday, it's the fullbacks just offer very little offensively. Like I don't know, Brian Coufret has fallen out of favor on the left for whatever reason, and Kevin O'Toole, New Jersey walk-on Kevin O'Toole, who, you love that, but then on the other hand, is he the answer? And Tavon Gray's been great on the right, but also with a little limited offensive output, and the young kid Micha Ilinic has not gotten a lot of time. So I think that's the potentially the knock on Cushing, that our best players or our players with the most potential have had a really stagnant season. And I guess the question is, who do you blame for that? So those are the things to answer. We need another 9. I guess we need some midfield help. Alfredo Morales brace is probably run, I would imagine, at this point. So we're not sure. We need Andres Pereira is going to return to Philly on loan. He was on loan, and I think with Bedoya retiring, I think they probably want to hold on to him. I don't think they're going to. Bedoya is not retiring. That's not true. He's not being extended. He wants to keep playing, but he's not being offered an extension. So I think Philly is going to want Pereira back. Anyway, we'll see.
You know what? Number 9 is not going to be with his club next year.
Tom Barlow?
Joseph Martinez.
Oh yeah, Joseph Martinez. Right. Yeah. What is he? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if he's the answer for us.
Tata Martino says that it's been difficult, but he will not be with Miami next season, which is an interesting phrase. And Tata and him go back.
Well, I think it's the people who claim to know these kinds of things seem to think that Luis Suarez is going to show up in Miami this winter. And
I wonder if he's going to be. Luis Suarez is a bum knee. I wonder if he's going to be an upgrade over Joseph Martinez. I, for one, would probably keep Joseph Martinez, to be honest.
Over Suarez?
Luis Suarez, prime Luis Suarez
should make that.
Luis Suarez. Keep that.
You should call Messi and see what he thinks about that. If he agrees with your take.
I'm gonna look up right now. I'm going to look up right now how many goals Luis Suarez has scored down in Uruguay. Where is he right now? He's down in Uruguay. Luis Suarez. Yeah, it's always been linked with Inter Miami.
Sport und Musik. Sie hören Sport und Musik mit Stefan Schnitzel und seinem Telefon. Bis gleich sind wir wieder da.
Okay, he was with Gremio. Okay, hold on. He was with Nacional for a year, and now he's with Gremio. Yeah, because over the summer, it was debated where he's going. For Gremio, he has scored 16 goals in 34 games. So I stand corrected. That's not bad.
That's pretty good output.
And then for Nacional, which is a Uruguayan club, I believe, he scored 8 goals in 14 appearances. Also not too shabby. So I stand corrected.
Not as washed as you thought.
And he's 36. but the dude apparently still scoring goals. So, so we'll see. But if he's in Miami, one man's trash, another man's treasure. Joseph Martinez is a hot number 9. Plenty of clubs will take Joseph Martinez, I think.
But Joseph Martinez also is not who he used to be. I mean,
true. But this past season under Messi, he's kind of
how many goals? How many? What are his numbers for the year?
Joseph Martinez has 6 goals and 24 appearances for Inter Miami. So his numbers are not as good. That's right. Although what I will say is most of his goals, I think, have come in the second half of the season when Messi came by to.
Yeah, but I mean, Messi will make anything. But I mean, I probably would score a goal.
How many goals? Here's a quiz since I got the numbers up right now. Last little quizzy quiz before we say goodnight. How many goals does Joseph Martinez have for Atlanta United in total?
For Atlanta? Oh, a lot.
How many?
112.
High, but close. He has 98.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a lot. So there was a prime. There was a Joseph Martinez prime.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he had at some point he had doesn't he still hold the record for single season?
I think he scored 40 goals in one season.
Single season, not 40, but a lot. But okay, no, your turn.
Well, BWP has the record at 37. I think Joseph tied it or broke it. It was 38, 39, maybe 40, something like that.
In 2018, he scored 31 goals, which broke the scoring record at the time.
Maybe I'm thinking of 27 because BWP had, maybe I guess it was 27 in one season.
Yeah.
BW had 27, or I thought it was 37, but I could be wrong. Maybe
not 37. No, that's 37 is crazy for a 34 game season. Nobody does that.
Gerd Muller has 40. And then
Gerd Muller, Erling Haaland. Yeah, that's it.
All right, I think that's all I got for thing.
Red for Bull Decision Day.
We did it. Decision Day. We're in the postseason again. We got Charlotte at home. Let's go Red Bulls. Let's do it. Let's go Frankie and Maya. Let's go Homer Fernandez.
National team blew away Ghana.
Ghana first.
The players are good. Berhalter still sucks. Players did it though.
Yeah, Berhalter really screwed up against Germany, but then the players were able to stand.
But then the players were bailing him out in the game against Ghana.
Cool. Anyway.
All right. So we'll see you on the other side in the Deutschland Hour.
Tschüss, bis dann.
All right. That was Stefan from Ostfriesland, Germany. Meanwhile, we had the chat going here. Sebas S. also is, of course, very excited about the Red Bulls making the playoffs. He hopes that there will be 20,000 people on Wednesday. And that'd be great. I'm a little skeptical. I think sometimes, these playoff games, when they get scheduled on such short notice, sometimes it's hard to get that many people, especially on a weeknight. But hopefully people are showing up. The Red Bulls have rallied. I mean, I wouldn't have bet on them even a couple weeks ago. So it's their fans should enjoy it. He asked me for a prediction. I said Charlotte in penalties because just to be a pain in the butt. I think this is a pretty even matchup. I think it's very hard to call. I don't know how this is going to go. I think it's anybody's game. Daniel Young chimed in. He said that he was thankful for the season, for the NYCFC season, and he's faithful we can bounce back next season. I hope that too. I believe that as well. And he's pointing out that NYCFC had a pretty good defense. It has allowed the 5th least amount of goals in MLS at 39. But the offense was a little meager. And yeah, I agree. I mean, we talked about it a little bit with Stefan. I think we can probably use a little bit more depth or an upgrade at striker. We need a little bit more from our fullbacks. And but yeah, the defense has been good. And so I think it's the offense that we're focusing on. But like I said, I think if we had a striker from the beginning of the year, I think that's the problem we had this year, that we started the the year with Thales Magno at number 1 and at number 9, and that just never worked. So Sebas S likes Troy Lesesne as coach of the New York Red Bulls. We were bantering a little bit. I've in the past made fun of the suits that he's wearing, but at least he cares about his appearance, says Sebas, which is fair. And he cares about his job as a manager. For sure he does. And yeah, Troy Lesesne probably will keep his job. We still don't know about Nick Cushing. Nothing's been announced. Sometimes when teams make the playoff, they have to immediately then announce their changes and whose contract gets extended, etc. We haven't heard anything yet from the Red Bulls. We're also welcoming Hans Wolf and David Riccio to the chat. Everybody's here. That's nice. So yeah, we don't know yet if Nick Cushing keeps his job, what changes are happening on NYCFC. I think Alfredo Morales, former U.S. men's national team player, he didn't play a big role down the stretch, so he may be done. I don't know if he will retire or if he will go elsewhere. So that's a question. Meanwhile, MLS finally did release their playoff schedule, and it's funny. The Major League Soccer, we're how long now? 26, 27 seasons in with Major League Soccer, and they're still figuring out the playoff format. We have a new, I guess, the single leg elimination that we've had the last couple of years was decided that it went too quickly. There weren't enough games, and so now the response to this is the first round is going to go over 2 weeks. It's going to be a potentially three game series. The lower seeded team does get a home game, so it's higher seeded team hosts, then lower seeded team hosts, and then the higher seeded team hosts. And you need 2 wins to advance. So no overtime, straight to penalties. It's a whole new thing. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, the single game elimination was exciting, but it did sort of go quickly. Now we're going for the first round. It's going to last till November 12th, I believe. So yeah, Hans Wolf is helping me out. 27 seasons. Yeah, still playoff system. The playoff format is continues to be a work in progress. So we'll see. Meanwhile, do want to give a shout out to the one New York team that is the other New York team that's still in the playoffs is Gotham FC, the NWSL playoffs. They won their playoff game yesterday on the road at the North Carolina Courage with 2-0. So Gotham FC is still going. So I'll follow the NWSL playoffs. Are the opposite. It's like blink and you miss it. These were the quarterfinal games of the weekend. So now there's 2 semifinals and a final. So this is all going to happen. This is all happening very quickly. And I guess by next weekend, when is don't quote me on this, but it's the NWSL goes very quickly versus MLS is going to last for a long time. I was surprised how cavalier Stefan was about this playoff streak that the Red Bulls have going on. That's the most inactive, I'm going to say it again, the most in American sports. 14 years. That's a big deal. No one comes even close. I think I forget what the second was, but yeah, so that's he shouldn't downplay that, even though they haven't done a whole lot in the playoffs. That's still a big accomplishment. 14 years in a row. That's not nothing. And Sebas S is asking me if I watch hockey. I watch hockey. I find hockey too stressful. Like, I don't know. It's just so relentless. If you really care, it's like, there's no room to breathe. I find it the intensity is a little much for me. In the past, I have when I've really gotten into it, I found it because it's like you can score any second. I find it a little stressful, but I used to like the Rangers when I could not even name a single player on the team right now, so I shouldn't even pretend that I know anything. But hockey is cool, especially live. It's so intense, and things can happen so quickly. So But yeah, we're shouting out the ladies of Gotham. I mean, that team is stacked on paper. That front line, they have Lynn Williams and Mitch Purse, and now they got Esther Gonzalez of the World Cup winning Spain team. That's a pretty impressive front line. Even I know that. I won't pretend that I spend a lot of time watching women's soccer, but I mean, on paper, that is a strong team, and they did do well in this playoff game. Luis Suarez coming to Miami seems to be gaining steam. That rumor. Daniel Young says he loves the New York Islanders. Oh yeah, do they play? They still play in the Barclays Center, right? But not for much longer. They're building a new arena because they're building a new arena in Belmont, right? There was some rumor that the New York City FC was going to build a stadium there. They were a little bit in contention for that, although that never really got any traction. That's another piece of big news this week is that the NYCFC stadium entered its next phase and has entered the land review process. That's kind of the next step. Okay. David Riccio is telling me they have left Barclays Center and are playing in Belmont. Belmont. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the NYCFC stadium is becoming more and more real. It's entered the land review process and has, supposedly on schedule. So that's very exciting, of course, for NYCFC fans. Hans Wolf has Mitch Purse on the Gotham shirt. I mean, very, very likable player. I think I might pick her too. I kind of like Ali Long. I like the defensive midfielders. Although she doesn't, she had a baby, and I think she's not playing all that much anymore. She's had a long career for the U.S. national team, for the women's national team, and so she's no longer a starter. But she also, I liked her a lot as a player. Yeah, I think that might be all I have for you tonight. In the USA hour, however, David Riccio is already teasing in the chat that the Köln derby, the Köln-Gladbach derby, was a big deal. Köln had not won a game this year, so we're gonna get into that in the Deutschland hour on the hour in 15 minutes. I'm just gonna drink some water and run to the bathroom, and then we'll do it all again on the other side. At 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you all there.